Hey guys, so I've been wanting to do this video for about a week or so now. It's late at my house. It's after midnight. Everyone's gone to bed but me, and I'm catching up on YouTube stuff. And oh, just I'm doing this VR for Rob over at Cash Cards, and I've been wanting to do this one since he talked about it. So first of all, Rob, congratulations, 1,000 subs. Fantastic. I love watching your videos. You know, he does a lot of he does a lot of different types of videos, but one of the things I enjoy is he opens wax and opens some packs from back in the glory days, and I just uh, enjoy watching those. But all your stuff, Rob, I really enjoy, and so thank you for this opportunity to do the VR. It's just a great thing to do. And actually, he was asking for something uh, a little different, I thought, than some of the others I've seen. He talked about who's the player with the batting stance that you like, and it's kind of an interesting question. And actually, when he asked the question, the I had a name that popped into my head, but I'm gonna take a minute to get there, so please just bear with me. It's kind of an interesting thing, really. I think. So if you look up the numbers for the records, career records of walks, getting to first base by four balls. The number one person, of course, on that list is Mr. Barry Bonds. I'm not talking about Barry Bonds today, but anyway, number three is Babe Ruth. Now, when you think about these two guys, it's obvious why they would get walked a lot. Uh, Greg Maddux famously said that Barry Bonds was really easy to pitch to. You just walked him, and I think that's kind of funny. Like Greg Maddux of all people saying that about someone that kind of speaks to what pitchers in Bonds' day thought of him as a hitter. Just being able to connect with that ball. And of course, once he does, he's going to hit home runs. Well, the interesting thing is who's number two, because the guys one and three are both known for being power hitters. They're known for being guys who could crush the long ball. And actually, several of the other guys on the list are the same way. Ted Williams is high up. Yastrzemski is high up. These guys were good hitters and power hitters, but the guy who's number two is not primarily known for hitting. Some of you probably know where I'm going here. He's primarily known for stealing bases, and that's Rickey Henderson. Rickey Henderson passed Babe Ruth for a short time, for a couple years at least. He was the record holder for the most walks by a batter, and so that's an interesting part of that Rickey Henderson. So here's this guy who was known for stealing base. Now, that's significant when you think about when you're choosing to walk somebody. You choose to walk, generally speaking, you choose to walk the guys who their most formative weapon is swinging the bat. Ricky's most formative weapon wasn't swinging the bat, although that's not saying that he wasn't a fantastic hitter. If you know anything about Rickey Henderson, especially his early years, he had a lot of actually really had contract disputes for about the first half or so of his career, and at least the first, that may be extending it a bit further, but at least the first 7 or 8 years, 9 years, and a lot of those contract disputes early on in his career had to do with his hitting. That they talked about how other players on the team were getting better contracts because they were power hitters, and Rickey Henderson wasn't a power hitter, and so he kind of argued the point with the owners and said, well, listen, I'm getting on base, I'm stealing bases, I'm scoring runs. It's not that I'm not improving the team. I'm improving the team more than these power hitters are. Of course, his OBP is super high. It's I think it's 40th of all time or something like that. It's career on base percentage. It's pretty high, and so here you have this guy who's who gets on base and steals bases. You know, even early in his career, he was doing that. This was part of what he brought to the table early on. But he wasn't a home run hitter early on, and so he had somebody come in and help him with his batting and help him with his swing and so forth, and he of course improved. And if you know anything about Rickey Henderson, you know he holds another record. Another record that he holds is the most home runs by a leadoff hitter in Major League Baseball, and that is a pretty decent margin. I'm not sure if anyone will catch up, maybe, but he's just an incredible. I mean, he is the best player in baseball history, the best leadoff player in baseball history. He's the guy you want at bat first. And part of that was because his ability to hit home runs, but that wasn't really the majority of it. The majority of it was his ability to get on base, and then once he gets on base, to distract. So here's the question you have to ask: is why were people walking Rickey Henderson? Well, it had nothing to do with him being a power hitter, and had everything instead to do with his batting stance. And it's hard to get cards that are really good. Images of his batting stance. This is his 89 Topps Traded card. You can see it a little bit there, but even this doesn't quite do justice. He got himself so low to the ground. And I'll show you one more. This one is from his 91 Donruss. He's kind of moving into his swing at this point. Probably there are people out there with better collections of Rickey Henderson who have a better image of him, just how low down to the ground he got. But you can jump on YouTube and find videos of him and how low he was to the ground. He used to make pitchers angry. They would at times throw at him, even though they knew once he got on base. And again, if you read anything about him, he'd get hit, and he would just kind of take that as well as part of the game, and he would casually walk. He never ran down pitchers and stuff like that, but he would walk to first base, and then he'd just steal second. So people eventually learned to stop throwing at him, but they got mad at him for his stance because he was so low to the ground, and he made that strike zone so small that's what caused him to get on base so often. And so it's really one of the reasons that Rickey Henderson was able to have so many stolen bases was because of his ability to kind of get down really low, and he could still hit from there, and he could hit with power, and so you had to throw strikes if you could. And his ability to see the ball and to be able to hit it, he had just had a fantastic eye for the strike zone as well. It's another reason why you walk. You know, it's why the guys like Bonds and so forth and Ruth were able to get walked so many times. They had a good eye for pitches, and Rickey Henderson had a great eye for the pitches as well. But enough of that. This is all about the batting stance, right? But his batting stance, because it was so low to the ground. Now, this is not something I emulate. I'm in my mid-40s, and my knees won't put up with it. But I love watching videos and seeing him in that low crouch. And you can find stuff on YouTube with him out of that low crouch, just power hitting that ball. Sometimes, of course, home runs and just crushing it. So that's my choice, Rob, for my VR, for my player with the batting stance that I love the most. It's Rickey Henderson. It's partly because of the stance itself, but it's also in a big way part of the reason I love the batting stance is what it created. It fit the pattern of Henderson's playing style, where he was trying to create havoc. He was trying to create havoc for the other team, and he did. He made pitchers mad, he made catchers mad, he made umpires mad, but he just kept on doing it because Rickey's going to be Rickey, right? And so he just kept on doing it and kept on performing and performing admirably. So anyway, so that's my VR. Rob also asked for a few shout-outs. As one of the newer guys in this card community, there aren't a whole lot of people. He talked about newer guys. So I'm gonna go with one newer one. The other two have both been around for a little bit longer than me. I'm going with a theme. All of their names start with the letter J, so that's the best I could do. Rob, I hope that's all right. So the first one is Jeff, a fine card collector. Whenever I do these VRs and we're recommending channels, I like to suggest like something to watch of theirs. And so Jeff just recently finished up. He's collecting the 100 cards of the 80s. He's doing several different sets, but he just released a video of him showing his final pickup for that, and that's a pretty cool video. You get to see that. He talks about the set a little bit. I think he's going to do a series through the 100 cards. I'm looking forward to that as a child of the 80s. I call that the glory days. I prefer that to junk wax, but he's going to show those cards at some point, he said, and so I'm looking forward to that in the future. The second one is Jim over at 5714 Collector. Uh, Jim's been around for a long time. Like, you probably don't need me to talk about him, but when I first subscribed to him, he had some videos where he was going through his the 72 Tops set, and I don't know, it was probably video 8 or 9 or whatever it was when I first saw it, and it's like, man, one day I'm going to go back and catch up, and I just never did and never did and never did until about 2 weeks ago I started, and I just made my way through this, and man, those are fun videos. He goes through the 72 Top set, and I have thoroughly enjoyed. He puts a lot of work into them. He talks about every single player of the set, and so if you're like me and you just like hearing history, and he shares these little tidbits and nuggets, and it's been fascinating for me. So I'm all caught up this week. I'm anxiously awaiting the next episode, which I think he'll put out on Sunday. So looking forward to that. That's Jim. And then for my third J, we're going to go with J, Average Vintage Collector. I love that all these guys also have collector in their title. Maybe that should have been, that was probably a better theme than J. Forget the J, they all have collector in their name. J, Average Vintage Collector. His most recent video was a birthday pickup. I'm not going to spoil that. It's pretty sweet. I'm excited about that for him. He also shared a couple of other things in that video, birthday gifts from his family and some other things. And anyway, just a cool video. I'd suggest you go watch it. So I'll post links to all three of their channels, and then you can kind of look for those. If again, you've probably, if you're watching mine, you've probably seen theirs. But anyway, I won't take any more of your time. I appreciate you watching. If you watched this far, Rob, thank you for this opportunity, and I will. I look forward to watching. I've enjoyed the couple that I've seen that have done VRs for you so far, and so thanks a lot, and we'll see you guys next time.